Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Make sure everybody's in here all good and set up. As I begin, man, something that kind of took place, I want to say months ago when I did this post, but I don't know how it resurfaced. I actually forgot, honestly, but we going to get into it. Definitely going to get into it. Shout out to Battle Rap Opinions. We're going to talk about it. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know I was chilling. And I want to, immediately out the gate, I kind of want to apologize for those leagues, Chambers, Battle League, Street Status. Usually what I do is kind of shine a light on pay-per-views or just battle rap events that's going on that aren't from the big leagues. Either I post them on IG or on Twitter somewhere to kind of get people aware. I was so busy this weekend just doing stuff with the fam, and I just really forgot. So I want to apologize to those leagues. Chambers Battle League, it's like I believe it's an affiliate with King of the Dot, and like I said to my man O Street Status, I know he had an event this weekend. I believe that was the Young Ill versus Rosenberg Raw. I would like some updates on that too, man. I haven't seen any updates on that shit. So apologies to those two leagues in particular. And if there's any other leagues that I forgot to cover over the weekend, my apologies to them as well. Shout out to Battle Rap Opinions. I see OYK in the building. What up, O? How you doing? My man AG is in the building. What's good, brother? Always a pleasure to have you around showing love, man. Proud of what you doing. Got that verified account. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of Hollywood. You kind of a big deal out here. So shout out to you. But yeah, man. So we gonna get right into it, man. I had fun making lists, man. If y'all know anything about me, I love lists. Lists are fun as shit to do. It creates talk. It gives you kind of some sense of familiarity with the person you're talking to and what they like, what they dislike. And like I said, it just creates chatter in a fun, productive way. So it's not to get people all bent up out of shape. Seriously, if you're taking this shit too serious, like if you don't agree with a particular person that I linked up with a certain wrestler because this person means that much to you, you got to get out your feelings. I'm sorry, this ain't the place for that. We ain't doing that. This is not what I'm doing. All right, so yeah, man, we're gonna get right into it. Now, first things first, right? When I did these comparisons about these rappers, battle rappers, and wrestlers, it was just out of spur of the moment when I think about the sport as a whole, because for some strange reason, I'm not going to say strange reason, we know why, right? We know why battle rappers compare it to basketball, because it's predominantly black, and it's just the easiest to compare because more people have played basketball, right? If you play basketball, you can catch on to a lot of these analogies. I feel like that's low-hanging fruit, and it's pretty lazy, because other than really just how unprofessional battle rappers can be and how they demand like these big numbers, kind of like basketball players do, there's really no other similarities. That's a team sport. This is one-on-one for the most part. There is there's scores, there's a finality to it, and there's no outside soap opera-ish type of drama that goes on in basketball, really, to a serious extent. You get what I'm saying? So that comparison to basketball always was kind of weak to me. I know guys like Surf and others love to point to that, but I think the fairer, most accurate comparison, well, it's two. You could say MMA, because when you think of MMA, right, it was built on, we're going to see which discipline works. So back when UFC first started, they had Royce Gracie, who was jiu-jitsu, versus Tank Abbott, who was just like this big brawler, boxer type of guy, right? You had my man Vitor Belfort, who was a boxer, had hands for real, but he might lose to Randy Couture, who's a wrestler on the mat. And that's similar in battle rap. Those are styles: a puncher, schemer, versus, somebody who's an angler and things like that. So MMA is one, but wrestling makes the most sense to me, right? Because you essentially got characters, and people don't take that the wrong way. Characters, not that don't mean you're fake or phony. You're you're amping up whatever realization you have as a person, but you're just amplifying it times 10 to draw in consumers. And that's okay. This is a business. You're supposed to draw in consumers. So that's all y'all doing, right? Then even with the trailers, very theatrical music. Even you look at URL when Beasley does the voiceovers or the voices and the narration for these trailers. It's very theatrical, just like a lot of. I'm from the 90s, 2000s era wrestling, so I remember, the voices for getting you geared up for WrestleMania and SummerSlam and shit like that. So in that sense, it's very comparable to wrestling. The larger than life characters and even the terminology we use. Like, why do we use, what's your special move? Special move is a wrestling term. Finishing move. Your slogan. All the type of colorful, dynamic merch that you guys sell. It's all more wrestling based. So a lot of things. So terminology, trailers, the build up, the vibe, the hype. A lot of it is wrestling fused to me. So I felt this was a perfect way to kind of do some comparisons and see what people think about that. I could be wrong. But we gon' see what it do. We gonna do what it do. Yeah, battle rap been like wrestling, especially URL. Yeah, facts. Beasley really could do trailers and player introduction for WWE. But yeah, and both have storylines. Very good point. Oh, both have storylines. Both have drama, things that you see. I never forget when Hitman Holla and Sue Surf was about to battle, right? They did the whole. A lot of people say it was a fake fight. We don't know if it was fake or real. But remember the trailer for that? Like, oh man, I can't wait till they battle. And it really drew interest in. You remember the trailers for Arsenal and Hitman? Like, you come to St. Louis, we gonna cut your braids and take your braids out your head and all. It was a lot of banter to where, it was new at the time. Battle rap to that level was to a lot of people as far as the way it became formatted to on stage a lot. People were amped for that shit. So I definitely think it's way more wrestling based than anything. So, and I want to say shout out to John and Don who seeing his comparisons being made and he ran with it and he was like, nah, these are good. And that's me and him kind of playfully as a joke, we disagree a lot like with each other. I still think I 2-1 him. He said he got me, but it's all good. But shout out to him. He did comparisons. So far they've been pretty solid, pretty good response. So I'm gonna get right into it. Starting with I'm gonna just go from what I got on Twitter. So I said Calico. Who would be the wrestling comparison to Calico in y'all opinion? I'm just curious. Just trying to see, just trying to get a sense of the vibe. Who would Calico be to y'all? And when I think of how I did these, I'm thinking about not just like the style that they wrestle, but things that are a little bit more of intangibles. So like sometimes it can be just mystique based. So we gonna see who you guys chose for Calico. And I'm just starting with him because I just remember people disagreeing because the person I gave him is a lot of people's favorite wrestler. So we got Calico is Razor Ramon. It's interesting. The storyline to match up pipelines becoming more and more see-through in battle rap, just like wrestling evolved to be. Yeah, that's very factual. I think because you know why? Because the internet plays a big factor into that. Oh, we get more access, so we get to kind of pick and like kind of ruin our own fun. Internet helps you ruin your own fun because wrestling to me was better when I didn't know shit. I didn't know what do they call it when you kind of just blow up and start talking about real shit. I forgot the phrase they used for it, but it was what CM Punk did a lot. Kayfabe or whatever that shit was called, when you just like talk about real shit that you ain't supposed to talk about in wrestling, but you talk about it live in front of people. Also learning about how the cheer shots was delivered and shit like that. Like, it kind of ruined it for me. I feel like I enjoyed it more when I was a kid, when you was kind of naive to shit, and that's kind of what battle rap is doing. Like, you can kind of see shit like when certain people just start talking shit to each other online out of nowhere, you like, they battle locked in already, right? Am I the only one who be thinking that? Like, okay, they battle already locked in. This is just like when, perfect example, when Arsenal and Av just got into it out of nowhere. Such a random, I'm in VA, what up? Like, just out of nowhere on Instagram. I'm like, oh, they battle locked in. Like, Arsenal ain't about to be wasting his time being in VA talking shit about Av for no reason if that shit ain't locked in. So yeah, I definitely think people be ruining their own shit, man. It'd be unfortunate, but that's how it be, and that's how it is. But yeah, Calico, I gave him the Undertaker, actually, because the one thing, because I try to look for a glaring comparison that they both can be like, okay, this absolutely matches him when you think of this word, and this absolute matches him as well. And the key word is authenticity and being original. And I felt like there's been nobody like The Undertaker, really. And in battle rap, there's really been nobody like Calico as far as his authenticity. As far as you've seen, I don't know if you guys seen with the clip. Shout out to Let's Talk Battle Rap that kind of went viral with Calico recently, a couple of days ago. Him rapping at the age of 14, he said. And the style he got then is pretty much what he got now. It's just updated, more mature, obviously more refined, more polished because he's an adult. But that it was so refreshing to see that he never changed up. Because if you look back at a lot of cats back then, I bet you, if you look at somebody, I don't want to say no names, but if you look at somebody at that same age, around that same time, I bet you they were punchline crazy, right? But no, Calico was still Cal. And he has been throughout all of the years. And he's taken some big wins and big losses, just like The Undertaker has. So I thought that was a fair comparison when I thought about that. So I gave Calico The Undertaker for that reason. So Rose said, "Gotta explain that." Okay. So yeah, but I see somebody saying who Calico, Scott Steiner, Calico, Rob Van Dam, or Razor Ramon. Why Razor Ramon? No. Razor Ramon, I get it, but why Rob Van Dam? I don't. Would it just be because they're from Michigan, or I don't know, because Rob Van Dam really didn't originate anything per se. I wouldn't say he was a one of one, because a lot of his style comes from Japan Pro Wrestling. There's a lot of people in Japan Pro Wrestling with that style. There's a lot of people from ECW. I mean, he did a lot of dangerous shit, but so did Sabu in ECW. He kind of was a hybrid, a luchador at the same time, but he was like much bigger than them. Like, y'all about to get me in my wrestling bag. Oh, y'all about to get me talking like I know. Oh, y'all about to get me in my Don't let me get in my wrestling bag. Start really talking this shit. I'm telling y'all, from 1988 to like 2007, that's my bag. Anything, like with the new guys, like I've been cut out. Let me get y'all straight. The last time I was really the narcissism. The last time I was in really heavy into wrestling was when Randy Orton. He was like my last favorite wrestler. Randy Orton, when he went on that little run where he was like fucking up the McMahon family and he was like punting them in the head. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that. Then it all culminated with him going against Triple H. because like Triple H was going to like seek revenge for the family. I don't know what year that was. That's probably like 2010, maybe 2011, somewhere in that bag. But yeah, that was my last run because he was kind of like doing to them what Austin used to do to them, but he was just doing it in his own Randy Orton way. And I thought that was kind of like vintage, kind of an old throwback shit. But yeah, 98, 04 Attitude Era, the best era. Do we count 98 though? Do we count 98 as the beginning of the Attitude Era? I feel like it was more 99 than 98. But I get what you're saying. But I guess because 98, Austin beat Michaels for the belt. And that's when it was like the Austin era has begun and all that good shit, right? Yeah, because Brett got screwed in 97. So, Sean lost some. Yeah, okay. My timeline is right. I got it. We here now. So yeah, like that was my reasoning for putting Calico as the Undertaker. And y'all can just let me know if I got these wrong or not. I'm gonna just go down the list. So Sue Surf, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go in order. Sue Surf, I put as Stone Cold. Very brash, very in your face but nonchalant. You can say that he had a run. You can say that he had a wait. What Braille say? Randy Orton and John Cena era was the last time I was into rap. Okay, so you were right along the lines with me, Braille. Shout out to Braille. Yeah, that was like my era too. That was like the last time I started. Orton flip flop between face and heel, and people will love him either way. He was kind of. That's why I said. Oh, he was kind of taking on that Austin bag for me, and he was doing it well, but he was just doing it in his own way. And then, not to mention, the stunner and RKO is a very similar technique, but he just added a different dynamic to it with falling, and catching you at different angles with that shit. So I thought that shit was dope. But yeah. Now you got Surface Shawn Michaels. That's interesting. I wouldn't be mad at that. I just think Stone Cold is more. I feel like Surf is a little more in your face than Shawn. So personality wise, I gave him Austin because Austin's definitely in your face, a little more direct. Shawn did a lot of sly, sneaky shit. But I don't feel like. Who did I give Shawn Michaels to? That's one thing I need to remember. Let me see. I don't even think I gave Shawn Michaels to anybody, actually. Oh, no, I did. I gave Shawn Michaels to K-Shine. Because K-Shine is a performer, and so is Shawn Michaels. Like, some of the best performers, like, on-stage performers. Like, shit that you will never forget. And see... now I can really give you the distinguish too. So Stone Cold, as a wrestler, didn't give you those moments. He gave you more moments on the mic and more like run in shit, kind of like Surf. Like besides the press 9 as a like moment in ring moment, a lot of his shit is just based on his aura, his presence, how people really adore and fuck with him. Like if you look at the Hip Hop's Real interview, how that girl ran to him, gave him a hug, and was crying. You know what I'm saying? How many battle rappers get that love, that type of love? Not many. You might think it's a lot, but it's not many that get people like moved to tears just by their presence. But Stone Cold had that effect, and he was quote unquote the heel, just like Surf is quote unquote the heel, but he still get that type of love and adulation from people. And I think that's kind of what I was talking about earlier about intangibles. You can't really quantify that shit. As for Shawn was like one of the best performers. A lot of his moments came just from in the ring. Although he was a good talker outside the ring and promo shit, a lot of his best moments is just seeing him work. And the same thing with K-Shine. He got some of the biggest moments in battle rap. The Professor Shine shit, the JC Are You Okay? Bringing a little midget out versus Arsenal. Like, you just remember all of this shit. The hole so big enough I can fuck around and walk through them. You know, a lot of performance based material that even, what was that, last year against Reed Dollars? The got to be quicker than that shit. Like, he got so many of them you can pull from. Shawn Michaels was like a walking highlight reel, and so I feel like K-Shine is too. So that's why I gave K-Shine Shawn Michaels. Surf Shawn Michaels. So you would flip flop. So you would flip. Okay, no. She got K-Shine Jeff Hardy. Okay, Surf lose a lot, so he can't be the champ. Be a champ. Does he lose a lot though? I think that was kind of, you know what happens? We never rewrite history. Like, we take a narrative, or we take something. I wouldn't even call it a narrative, because maybe it was true at some point. Maybe he did have a lot of debatables, but I feel like people just kept ignoring the wins as years moved on, and kept, like, if I create a narrative about you in 2013 and 14, but I've battled a lot since then, we can't run with that same narrative if I'm putting in work afterwards. You know what I'm saying? What up, Shoe Gang? I see you. What up, Shannon? So I think he put in enough work. Like, I mean, in the biggest matchup he's had, really, well, he's had 3 big blockbuster matchups versus Hollow, versus Hitman, and versus, I would say, even versus Geechee. In 3 of those, he is pretty clearly 3-0. I don't know how many people got Hollow winning that battle. I can only tell y'all about how I remember watching it back then, and the voting system, the polls, and people who was talking, who was at the event. The majority gave that battle to Surf. Same thing with the Hitman battle. It was closer than Surf and Hollow, but a lot of people gave that battle to Surf. And then Surf versus Geechee, a lot of people gave that battle to Surf. I gave that battle to Geechee with an edge, but I'm a selfless person. Like, I go with if the consensus say that's what it looked like, then, that's how it, that's what it was. So in his big matchups, a lot like Stone Cold. Y'all remember when Stone Cold kept beating The Rock in pay-per-view events for the belt? like I think the last time they faced each other, The Rock finally got a dub at WrestleMania versus Stone Cold. But before that, he was like 0-2, 0-3. But yeah, man, big matchups on the line. He be getting the job done. That's why a lot of people got faith for him versus Lux coming up, because he kind of got that verb complex where, in these big matchups, you can say whatever you want about him, but in these big matchups, he's going to deliver something. So, but K-Shine as Jeff Hardy, I wouldn't be mad at. I just feel like Jeff Hardy is lower on the all-time great list than K-Shine is in battle rap. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where Jeff Hardy be ranked at as the all-time greatest list would be concerned in wrestling, but it wouldn't be as high as K-Shine would be in the all-time greatest of battle rap. So I wanted to make sure I gave K-Shine somebody that fits his ranking list, because it's safe to say K-Shine is a top 15 all-time battle rapper. It's pretty safe to say that. Jeff Hardy wouldn't crack my 15. I don't think Jeff Hardy would crack my top 20 all time, to be honest with you. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think I can do it. Although there are some comparisons there. Like you said, you just referenced the energy, performance, technical acumen. There's always the slight, like, he didn't fully get all of the accolades he deserved. Like, it's a very good, well thought out connection there. But again, I think Shine is, if you did a top 10 to 20 list, Shine will easily make it on a lot of people's lists. If you watch a lot of wrestling, and let me put a caveat there. If you watch a lot of wrestling, there's no way you'll have Jeff Hardy in yours. Like, No, like if you watch WCW, WWE, you know about the territories. That was NWA, the AWA. You watch a little bit of ECW. You even watch some New Japan Pro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you was like, um, yeah, you just watched enough. I don't think Jeff would make the cut. He would probably be a top 40, maybe. He's more like a top 40 all time. I don't know. I might have to do that, man. I might make a wrestling podcast, man. I might just be a podcast monopoly and shit. Like, we might just run this shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. That's where I'm going with that. So, um, I hear you kind of how Shine has arguably gone, undefeated, but a lot of people don't listen to him in their, a lot of people don't list him in their Mount Rushmore or Champion of the Year. Now, yeah, a lot of people don't put him in their Mount Rushmore, but I do think Champion of the Year for last year, I actually see, this is why I love getting like new supporters, because like if y'all go back, it's gonna be an episode called Champion of the Year for 20, what was it, 18. I actually had him as mine before the announcement, and I still was sure. I thought he was gonna win for sure. I'm shocked. I wasn't shocked that Geechee won. I was more so shocked that Kayshawn finished third. Like, you get what I'm saying? That would kind of fuck with me. Like, damn, what? But that's the beauty of voting. So I can't always want voting, judge battles, and all this dope shit, and then knock it all the time. But yeah. So yeah, I had Surf, Stone Cold. I had K Shine as Shawn Michaels. Loaded Lux, I had as Brett. I got Loaded Lux as Brett. Cause Lux, this is why, and this is the main reason I had Lux as Bret Hart. First of all, I think Bret Hart is the GOAT of wrestling, in my opinion. He's my favorite wrestler. I don't think nobody fucking with Bret. But that's neither here nor there. That's a discussion for another day. I don't think nobody fucking with the Hitman. But it's all, you know, you know. Y'all can debate that with somebody else, you feel me? Ain't nobody fucking with the Hitman. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, the excellence of execution. You know, all that good shit. Yeah, we doing that. We doing that. But, yeah, I got Brett as Loaded Lux, or I got Loaded Lux as Brett, however you want to slice it. And it's simply because this is something that can't be denied. Lux and Brett are probably number one when it comes to being high on a lot of people's lists based off of just skill. Like, there's not a lot of, like, Lux, he does have some energy to him, and he does have a little, you know, arrogance, but a lot of people are enamored with the way he puts word, the technical shit, probably with him more than any other person I've ever seen in battle rap. Like, people give him the benefit of the doubt if the crowd didn't catch some shit. Like, oh, there's layers to what he's doing. Same thing with Brett. Like, Brett never was the one that was going to wow you, but the appreciation people got for him as a technical wrestler, being the excellent execution, the sharpshooter, the figure leg. What was that? Remember when he started implementing the figure four leg lock around the ring post? That was dope. That was fire. All the suplexes, the Russian leg sweep he used to always do, and the way they said he always took care of the wrestlers. Like, he never over his, like, what, 30, 40, 20, 30 years of wrestling, he never injured an opponent. Like, it's on record, like, no wrestler has ever said they've been injured by Brett. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was some real, showed some real craft. And I feel like Brett is on a lot of people's lists, and it's not for anything else other than what he does in the ring. And that's the same thing you could say for Lux. Like, he's only been battling the best of the best, and sometimes, like, Charlie Clips got more personality than him. Calico was more street and had more of a gutter feel than him. But he just gonna give you that work based off of just being lyrical, being having a high battle rap IQ, and the same thing with Brett. Brett won off of being, you know, ahead of the game all the time. No matter what you did, he was a little step faster and smarter because he was thinking on a different wavelength than you. So that's how I got Brett as Low Deluxe. Kind of an easy one here to me was Hitman Holla and The Rock. Like, you're talking about the most electrifying, and I feel like Hitman Holla is the most electrifying stage performer we've ever seen in battle rap. I feel like that was the easiest comparison. Like, I don't see who else I could have gave The Rock to, because the second best performer, like, as far as just giving you that feel, would probably be who? Like, I don't know. So distant second, whoever that is. But no, man, The Rock and Hitman, I felt like that was kind of an easy flip. But I could be tripping. I seen somebody say something about Diesel. I think I seen somebody say something about Diesel, and I'm about to find out who did I give Diesel to. Should be interesting to see who I did that with. But I just want to know real quick before we get any complaints. Is there any complaints with my man Hitman Holla being The Rock? I just want to know. Y'all can keep it real with your boy. Y'all can keep it real with me. I just want to know. Because I ain't mad at it if there is. I'm just trying to figure out what we doing. And I would love to hear who you guys got as Hitman Holla. Brett at the moment didn't adjust a whole lot to New Wave either. He kept his OG Gold style similar to Lux, and it works. Yeah. And I remember his last days in WWE where he was like, that was kind of his script to kind of be so fed up with what was going on. That's when D-Generation X was like being real racy, and a lot of the women, that's when the whole diva shit first hit the wave, and puppies and shit like that with their boobs out. And I don't know if y'all ever seen Wrestling with Shadows, but Brett was sick of that shit, like, for real. Like, although he was playing the role, he was really mad at that in real life. Like, he would go home to his wife, and because he had sons who watched wrestling, obviously they came from a rich wrestling family, and he said they couldn't watch it anymore. Like, he couldn't even let his kids watch it at that age because it got so racy. So he's like a man of principle and morals, so that's why I fuck with him. Like, even in something like wrestling that people are like, oh, it's fake, why does it matter? Like, there's still some integrity you gotta have in anything you do. Like, it's the job, but you still gotta present it the correct way. And he took pride in that. And Lux takes great pride in battle rap. So that shit just made sense to me. I felt like The Rock and Hitman Holla made sense to me. What else was kind of easy for me? I felt like what was another easy one for me? Goods, come on, man. Goods, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was pretty easy. I definitely felt like that was the easy one. About the money, looking the part. Quick listen on my way home. You find anyone for Mankind yet? What up, Selvin? Ooh, Mankind. Who would be Mankind in battle rap? That probably be Daylight, if we're being honest, because there's a lot of there's some gifts in his madness. There's a lot of method to his madness. Same thing with Mankind. There was a method to his madness. He was a student of the game, but he just expressed it in a bizarre fashion. Oh wow, I just killed that analogy. Oh shit, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm feeling myself a little bit. I just killed that. Daylight is lyrical, a student of the game. A lot of your favorite battle rappers really hold him in high regard. I think the same could be said for Mankind. I remember people like Stone Cold talking about how much of a sponge he is as far as soaking up game and giving just really great advice. I've heard Vince McMahon speak glowingly about Mankind or Mick Foley or whatever you want to call him. But yeah, but he just, he was a bizarre character, and Daylight as a battle rapper is a bizarre character. He's done some things questionable that we all know and don't really want to speak on, and so is Mankind. Like, he was done a lot of wild shit to get the point across that he meant business. So I think that's fair. And Mankind is going to go down as a legend. Same thing like Daylight. Like, Daylight did a lot for the West Coast battle rap. I wouldn't say he's the face of the West Coast battle rap. Obviously, there's other people in that spot, but he's one of the people you think about when you think of West Coast battle rap. So that in itself says something, I would say. So that was a good question, and I think I put that out there kind of, and that was just kind of a quick guess. OIK said I got Danny as McFoley. Ah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. That's a good one too. Actually, that's a good one too. I like that. Danny Myers is Mankind. Hmm. No, you like my analogy better. Well, I appreciate that. I wouldn't be mad either way, though. I wouldn't be mad either way. I forgot who I gave Danny. Let me look that up. Who did I give Danny? I think I gave Danny Edge. And the reason why I remember giving Danny Edge, only reason I gave Danny Myers Edge is because I remember Edge talking about he was only getting respect for being a tag team partner, and people didn't really take him serious. Like, he was a late bloomer as a singles wrestler. Like, when he was a singles wrestler, I don't know if y'all remember that little. There was like a couple little year span. First of all, he had some trash theme music before that um, dope entrance music he had when he got with Lita and shit. And he kind of became the bad boy when he stole Lita from Matt Hardy in real life. You know what I'm saying? That shit was, anybody who know that story, that's tough. But yeah, before then, it was like a 2 or 3 year span where he was kind of just having really good matches, but they weren't booking him for title shots or nothing. And he was wrestling the same way. It's not like he started wrestling different. It was just he was kind of lost in this shuffle. They were more focused on like your Cena's, your CM Punks, your Randy Ortons. He was just caught in a weird place at the wrong time, and he was so consistent. And that's why I gave Danny Edge, because Danny been so consistent, but for whatever reason, leagues kind of want to make the face of a league kind of someone else, even if they're not as consistent as Danny. And Edge, for a nice little period, was facing those same problems. Yeah, just like look that up. But that was who you got for Hulk Hogan. Hold on. On screen, a lot of the newer wrestlers don't respect Mick, like a lot of the new guys don't respect Danny. Yeah, that's a fair comparison. Like I said, I'm not mad at that one. Who you got for Hulk Hogan? I think I gave Tay Rock Hulk Hogan because here's why. His greatness is in being basic, and that sounds like a knock, but it really is. Like, Tay Rock's greatness is in being like Hogan is great, is a legend, and is iconic, but it's not because he's the best wrestler, and that's why Tay Rock isn't. It's because he was consistent. He was a main eventer. Like, so there was that stretch, right, when Hitman left, kind of. Clips was gone. Like, I think he was having gambling issues. Math was out of the whole main event shit. Who else was leaving? It wasn't good. Y'all know the story. Tay Rock took the reins of URL, the biggest league, and said, "Put me in every main event. Put the company on my back. We gonna ride out." I think he main evented Briz. He was main events against Clips the second time around. He went. Who else he was going against? Whether it's Rum Nitty, like all of that, right? But when I think about Hogan, people forget that with Hogan, Hogan did the same thing with WWE. I don't know if people remember. See, that's why I don't know. I don't know how long y'all was watching wrestling, but so there was this period of time in the early '80s where NWA, AWA were kind of bigger draws than WWF at the time. It was called WWF, and it up until the the WrestleMania here. I think I was WrestleMania 2 or 3 here in Detroit at Pontiac Silverdome. What was in Pontiac, Michigan. I'm not a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people say Rock and Cena. I'm not mad at that either. But because Cena and Hogan kind of the same too, so I'm not mad either way. But only reason I'm saying Rock as Hogan because Cena kind of got this in certain cities they boo the hell out of him, and up until lockdown in Philly when he called out Cassie, Rock barely got booed. Rock was a fan favorite. Like, it's hard to be the main eventer a lot and still get that same love. Like, remember that Hogan was. When Hogan, no matter how many times you've seen him do the same moves, no matter, as soon as you hear that music, people go crazy. Did y'all remember the love Rock got in London when he went against Pat Stay, when he came out? Like, they fuck with him heavy. Like, the fans fuck with him. When he was running and he had that run where he was battling, like when he went against Hollow, when he went against Rum Nitty, Briz. He went against a lot of people, man, and they was rocking with him no matter who he went against. So John, he went against a lot of people, and they were fucking with him. So for that, and just the consistent grind, you know what I'm saying, the grind he put in, and Hogan did a lot of that too. I know we look at Hogan as just like this Hollywood Hogan shit, but in the '80s he was wrestling a lot. I mean, he would wrestle a lot. I remember because I started watching wrestling because of my grandmother. My grandmother is from Mississippi, and wrestling in the South is religion. Wrestling and like high school football is like religion in the South, still to this day. So she would go to like small events like where it used to be the Kevin Von Erichs. If y'all ever looked them up, the Von Erichs they were like the Hart family in the South. Yeah, so she would watch the Texas Tornado, Junkyard Dog, all that, et cetera, et cetera. But there were going to be a lot of people not knowing, but territories used to fuck with each other. That's why I kind of hate what WWE did and just start buying out people. Because like Ric Flair was a champion AWA, but he would go to NWA, but he would go to the AWA in Minnesota, Vern Gagne shit, and wrestle their champion. Like, that shit used to be crazy. I used to be like, I remember seeing Shawn Michaels in the '90s I forgot what it was, like Mid Atlantic Wrestling. I'm like, oh, this is Shawn Michaels. Why is he about to wrestle Ricky Morton from what were they called? The Rock and Roll Express. Like, why is he wrestling this thing? Like, where did this come from? But that used to be dope, and Hogan used to do that too. Like, Hogan was the WWF champ, but you would have a contract, but they would let you wrestle in different big wrestling organizations. So he was wrestling a lot, and he was winning. And like, I know y'all remember seeing Ric Flair. If y'all ever watched Ric Flair's doc, he was doing the same thing. Like, they were wrestling in stadiums. Ric Flair would come down in a helicopter and come out with his robe and the WCW belt glowing, and he'll be wrestling whoever was the champion at, you know what I'm saying, a different territory. That shit used to be dope. All right, Shelby. Shout out to Shelby for asking dope questions. But yeah, man, and I felt like if Tay Rock was ever asked to do that for the URL, he would do it in a heartbeat. Like, he would be what Hogan was to WWE when they needed somebody to help them get them ratings back in order, because they took a nosedive once Andre the Giant got old, because Andre the Giant was their first cash cow, you know, and then he got old and they was like, what we gonna do? All right, I don't know. Like, Macho Man was there, but Macho Man was a heel at the time. He was the Macho King. If I don't know if people remember when his name was the Macho King. But he was the Macho King. Can't really build the face of as a heel. And then Hogan, you know, he's like, I'll take that. Slam Andre the Giant was already like 80 years old, joking of course. And he became the man after that. So that's kind of what, it's kind of a knock and a compliment, because a lot of people do say that Rock got his run when everybody kind of left or kind of wasn't in that wasn't in their prime anymore, or so to speak, like that. But hey, you gotta take advantage of what was given to you. So that's my comparison for Hogan. That's the only reason, kind of why, because I felt like they were in similar positions to run. They could have either dropped the ball when they got the chance, or take the bull by the horns and help build their leagues up or companies up, and they did. They both did just that. So that's why. See, sometimes it's just more than just wrestling abilities and comparisons. So a lot of people, I've seen some people like, yo, I don't get this. Like, that's why I wish more people who, like, if you look at Twitter and you look under there, like I said, this post was created in August of 2019. And I think John must have just caught it and retweeted it either last night or the night before. And people just started going at this again, all over again, kind of recreated, resurfaced. So I said, fuck it, I'll address it. So yeah, that's why I'm here right now. So I'm addressing that. Who we got next? All right. Who we got next? I gave Triple H. So I gave Murder Mook Triple H to O's, who said Mook should be Hogan. I gave Mook Triple H, actually, because I feel that it's crazy. Like, me and you aren't far off on these comparisons, because like, Mook could be Hogan, but Mook could be Triple H. Just like how you said Danny could be Mick, and I prefer Daylight, or like how you said K Shine, or you had Surface Sean and I had K Shine. Like, you're like, we're just missing each other by a bit. Like, we're not that far off. But no, I got Mook as Triple H, because I feel like Triple H is a more well-rounded wrestler. He come from that Hogan tree though, but he's a much better wrestler, and also I think he understands the wrestling business probably better than everybody else. And I mean, obviously, look what he did. He fucked around, got with the boss's wife. Got with the boss's daughter, married her, got in the family, like, got himself a position. Now he's like the man there. Then he developed what is it called, the NXT shit, which is development roster. His brain is working, and Mook is the same way. Mook is probably not a smaller guy as far as monopolizing his worth in battle rap more than Murder Mook, right? So you got that aspect. You got a lot of people can say that Mook is very beatable until you go against him, and then a lot of people get mad that they can't beat him, or they haven't beat him. Same thing when you look at Triple H and you see him, like, okay, pound for pound, he shouldn't win this match, but he winds up winning, and he wins a lot. Like, I feel like, I remember my grandma used to say, like, I feel like it's only been 2 pay-per-views my whole life I've ever seen Triple H lose, and I've been watching pay-per-views like forever. And I felt the same way. I'm like, do we ever lose a big match on the pay-per-view ever? Like, same thing kind of with Cena before Cena started actually losing. But yeah, what up to Bill Showtime? What up, my guy? But yeah, like, I felt like Mook doesn't lose as much as a lot of people, even though he's not as skilled as a lot of people, in my opinion. And I feel like the same way with Triple H. Like, he just finds a way to win no matter what. You split Triple H between Verb and Twerk. That's interesting. See, I gave Verb Ric Flair because I felt like, there was an obvious reason I gave Verb Flair. Flamboyant. More, before he became vegan, I'm talking about before this transformation. Perm head Verb had a Ric Flair complex. That was pretty apparent, right? I think we all know that. Who did I give Twerk? Also, I gave Verb because, in my opinion, I look at Verb's resume in big matches. He's won a lot of them. Like, he's beat Surf. He's beat Hitman. He's beaten Murder Mook. In my opinion, these are my opinions, so I'm not saying it for fact. But he beat Surf. He beat Hitman. He beat Murder Mook. I got him beating. Who else? I got him beating John. He beat Hollow. I got him beating. Goods. Like he took some losses to like K Shine, of course, and Charlie Clips. I got him beating Math. Like so, I don't know. He won a lot. So he's one of the guys who like got that 100 Hertz hymns or old Triple H equal verb. The game of newer Triple H equals twerp. Hmm. But do you think? And I'm gonna ask this: do you think twerk could ever be as hated as Triple H was when he turned the game? Remember when he first got with Stephanie? Like he was the ultimate heel when he used to use the sledgehammer all the fucking time. Like, I don't think twerk can ever be hated like that. Oh no, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. You said Hunter Hearst Helmsley or old Triple H's verb. Okay. The game. Oh yeah, no. So you're saying the game? Yeah. My question still stands. I don't think the game, Triple H. I don't think Twerk could be hated like that. The game Triple H was. They didn't fuck with him. Who did I give Twerk to? See, now this is funny because I gave Twerk John Cena because I feel like Cena could do no wrong in the company's eyes. And a lot of people don't think Twerk can do no wrong in the company's eyes either. He's no show, took deposits, and he will still get booked. I think John Cena can do no wrong. Like John Cena has taken the most layoffs any battle rapper, any high caliber wrestler I've ever seen. Like when The Rock was an active wrestler, he wasn't taking off doing movies yet. Like I've never seen like Cena be gone for inexplicable reasons. It's not always an injury. He's gone. He'll just be, I'm shooting this or I'm filming this. Like I was never used to that. When I was growing up, Brett and Sean used to be wrestling every fucking day, all year round. But Cena can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and I feel like Twerk kind of got that luxury as well. And Cena merch game crazy. I feel like if Twerk ever really put his mind on selling merch, he'd probably have the most sales of any battle rapper, and it wouldn't be close. I don't know how hasn't anyone capitalized on that. Like he's still like getting like doing the whole I'm gonna wear this sponsor shit. I think he should just something like he need a manager right now. like like if you want me to be a manager, I'm just I ain't gonna do it. But no, I'm just saying he definitely could make a killing. Like I don't like if he would have did that premiere battle shit in the UK when they was making his merch. That shit was hard. Them shirts, the Madness shirts. I heard they sold a nice amount of them, even though he didn't show up. But yeah. So I just feel like Cena could do no wrong. Neither can Twerk. Also, just their crossover appeal. Like Cena got mad crossover appeal, and Cena and Twerk has that too. Like when he went to London, I heard people were going crazy. Like they knew his slogan, and he didn't even say it yet and shit. So I don't know. I can switch that. John was the easy one. He even agreed with that one. I gave him Kurt Angle. Very technical, underrated legend. Wins a lot, high win percentage, and yeah, kind of a throwback wrestler. Just like John John's a throwback battle rapper in the sense that he doesn't have predictable punches. He actually battles his opponent. Like he's more direct. A lot of his stuff be tailored for the person he's facing, which is so refreshing. I like random punchlines here and there too, but when you can really craft some shit to your opponent, it's just gonna always hit harder to me. So yeah, that's why I got John. And who else that was kind of notable? I got Sting as Hollow to Don. I got Sting as Hollow to Don. Yes, I do. But yeah, why do I got Sting as Hollow to Don? For anyone who's asking, because unpredictability. Unpredictability is big with Hollow. When he raps, he's unorthodox. Sting was like that, particularly when he was young Sting. Young blonde hair Sting before he became dark, You know, what was it? What was his name? The Crow. Before he became the Crow, he was like this young, exuberant dude with the Stinger Splash, the Scorpion Deathlock. He would do just crazy moves in the ring. He main evented a lot early in his career, just like Hollow. He was a this stat is gonna always amaze me with Hollow, man. Shout out again to Let's Talk Battle Rap. I think they got this stat. It might not have been them. It might have been Battle Rap stats. I don't know, but there hasn't been an event that Hollow was a part of where he wasn't the main event. And I was like, nah, that can't be true. So I just went through the list of his battles. All those battles, he was the main event for. Like, you can think of any match he's ever been in, he was the main event. That's so fucking impressive to me, considering how long he's been battling. Like, I never thought of that though. I thought for sure he may have been an undercard for this particular. That's like, and a lot early Sting, he got shots at Ric Flair, and Ric Flair was the man at WCW. He battled Lex Luger when he was the man. Who else he battled? Who else he battled? Who else he wrestled? He wrestled a lot of people early in his career because his buzz was so strong, and because he was doing good business, and he had a really good business sense. And he started out, and what's crazy with him is kind of like what happened to Hollow. And I think this is the comparison that kind of put it at a lock for me. So he started out in a group. He actually was tag team partners with the Ultimate Warrior. That's a fun fact. I don't know if many people know that. But Sting and the Ultimate Warrior was partners before. Tag team partners. Yep. Well, I'm trying to remember their name. What was Sting and the Ultimate Warrior's name? Oh, what were they named? I don't know, but they were wrestlers. They was tag team partners in the '80s. I think they were called like the Runners or something. Oh, it was the Blade Runners. The Blade Runners. That was their name. Like in 84, 85, 86, somewhere in there. And Ultimate Warrior was always looked at as the dominant one and all that. And then also for a brief stint, Sting joined. I think Sting was a horseman, like early. Blonde hair Sting makes sense to me, but for some reason the Raven Sting keeps interrupting my thought. Yeah, because the back half of his career was like the most visible. You know, that's when more people was watching wrestling. So it's kind of going to get, like blonde hair Sting was so long ago. But yeah, early Sting got a lot of early looks and took advantage of those. And he was never deemed in both of those groups where he was with the Horsemen for that brief period, whether he was in Blade Runners with Ultimate Warrior, he was never looked at. And I thought that when Hollow joined NYB, because I always say this story. When you look at NYB, when in 2009-10 or whatever, it was meant for Math to be the face, not only of NYB, but of the URLTV. He main evented the first URLTV event, which was him versus T-Rex. He main evented the next one, which was him versus Verb. He also had music that was always being promoted by the URL staff. His manager was Norbs. I don't know a lot of people know that. Fun fact, his manager was Norbs. And they did like this promo shit on the rooftop. I'll never forget. Like, hey, if you buy this ACMD or whatever his mixtape was called at the time, ACMD by Math Hoffa, if you buy that, we'll fly you out to Summer Madness 1. I know he wish he took that back, because Summer Madness 1 he got bodied by Calico, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so they were building Math up, and it was gonna be Math and NYB, like. But Hollow came, battled Big T, main evented that, I might add, and got him up out of there. And he never looked back. He main evented versus Goods, main evented the first Summer Madness versus Hitman, and yeah, it was crazy. It was very crazy. If I didn't pick Booker T for Briz, I would have pegged Briz as the Raven Sting. Wow, how about I picked Booker T for Briz too? I swear to God, I did. And you can just look it up, so you know I ain't lying either. Like that, that tweet was in August, so yeah, I definitely got him as Booker T. We on the same page there, sister. I don't think we even got to discuss that. But yeah, so those are just some of my comparisons. If you got any more, you guys can just holler at me on Twitter at Podtier, PODTIER. This is pretty fun. I think I'll do some more. Who else we got here? We can do some more. Let's see. We did Hitman. That's The Rock. We did Booker T as Briz. I did Verb as Ric Flair. Low Deluxe Bret Hart, who served Stone Cold. Triple H is Murder Mook. Averb, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. Tay Rock, John Cena. Twerk, Kurt Angle. John and Sting is Hollow to the Don. Now, who else? We can go DNA. DNA was a tricky one. So with DNA, he's technical, but he also has a personality. DNA, he's technical, he does a little bit of everything, but he also has a personality to boot. So who do you give somebody like that? I gave him somebody who's a legend, just like DNA. Somebody who's gifted and talented, just like DNA. Somebody who's a winner, just like DNA. But somebody who has a personality, just like DNA. Or somebody that's a DNA, and just like DNA, some people may find his personality corny, just like DNA. So that person was Chris Jericho. I think that's about as perfect as comp you can get for DNA. Like I said, DNA is a proven winner, a legend, knows how to market and promote himself outside of battle rap. That was the key thing. If you look at Chris Jericho's career, whether it was his rock band Fozzy, whether it was with how he promoted himself on numerous of little TV shows, he had his own podcast. He knows how to market himself and make money outside of his profession, which was wrestling. Same thing DNA did. Also, like I said, being well-rounded. So Chris Jericho you know what it was? He was well-traveled, just like DNA. I don't know why I keep saying that. But it's really a lot of comparisons with them. Because he was well-traveled, just like DNA. You know, DNA has battled in London, Australia, everywhere, Canada. And when you well-traveled, you pick up different styles. Same thing with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho could be technical one day, but then I seen him on ECW. Look at some clips of Chris Jericho at ECW. He's doing like a lot of high-flying shit, like a lot of cruiserweight shit. I mean, he was a cruiserweight guy over at WCW, right? Battling like Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio, and shit like that. But then he switched his style and got more physical and kind of got more chill on the jumping up off the ropes and shit. Started being like more of a ground mat wrestler type of shit, kind of like Bret and Benoit. And DNA is the same way. He can adjust and adapt to any setting. So I thought DNA as Chris Jericho made a lot of sense. Who you had for Suge? I had Sid Vicious. Not bad. I didn't even think of Sid Vicious for him. That was good. I had to run outside real quick. Did you do JC or Ill Will? I don't think I ever did a comp for Ill Will. Y'all can give me one. I don't think I ever got to him. I didn't do many. I did maybe, let's see. I probably did like 20 to 25 people. I didn't do that a ton of battle rappers. Who did I give to JC? I gave JC Daniel Bryan. That's who I gave JC. That's who I gave JC. I gave JC Daniel Bryan. Hey, O had it. She said JC equal Daniel Bryan or Rey Mysterio. Yep. Because it's like no matter how good Daniel Bryan is, people will still doubt him or kind of be hesitant to give him bigger plates. and he can go one of those crazy runs where he's smacking people around and people be like, yeah, that's cute, but I still don't trust you in this main event versus said this guy, whoever the face of the league is. So that's kind of the same place JC is in. Like, he can smoke, he can go on the, like, he's arguably undefeated last year. Matter of fact, I don't even think it was arguably. Like, what was JC's comp last year? He beat Mike P. He 30 Glue. He 30 somebody else. I thought he beat Franchise, or was Franchise earlier this year. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, he won a lot last year. Got Bankhead up out of here. So yeah, but it didn't result into anything. Like, it didn't. I mean, he just got clips this year in a rematch. But he wanted Lux and Surf for a while. He still haven't got him. It's kind of like Daniel Bryan, man. He wanted to wrestle the Cenas and the Randy Ortons, and it took him a while before he eventually got it. But I felt like there were people with less talent, putting in less work, got those matchups much quicker than he did. But yeah, so that's my comparison. Who else we got here? You know who I gave T-Top? This is just random. I gave T-Top Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake, because T-Top is an angler. And if you ever watched Jake the Snake, he was an angler too. He was pretty much calculated, strategic, and just his style was very slow and deliberate. Like, if you watch him wrestle, he wasn't a fast guy at all. But he would get the job done. That DDT was deadly, and the way he spoke was in very matter of factly. I think T-Top is a slow flow guy. He's gonna get you out of here. He's gonna put you to sleep. Like, when you think when you look at him do his face offs, T-Top is rarely, aside from the 2-on-2 shit, he's rarely in his feelings and hyper. And Jake the Snake was like that too. So that's what I have for T-Top. Who else y'all asked about? Oh, who I have for sure. Let me find out who I have for Shotgun. Let me find out who I have for that Shotgun. All right. Shotgun Suge, I had Diesel. So you had Sid, and I had Diesel. Isn't that like the same person? They both masters of the power bomb. They both was around the same height. They both loved Shawn Michaels. That was both of their homies. Jake the Snake is Chilla. I ain't mad at that. See, I gave Chilla Randy Orton because Randy Orton got that cold, like, mystique about him too. Like, see, yo, me and you, we should start. Hey, yo, holla at me. But no, see, that's why I gave Chilla Orton, because of that same shit. Very cold eyes. You know, he be having that slow walk up to the ring, but he deadly. He'll get you up out of here with the quickness. So, but I ain't mad at that. Chilla, Jake the Snake, he can be either or. You know what I'm saying? And they both strike quick too. That snap DDT Jake the Snake used to do was kind of wild. He kind of revolutionized the DDT. He used to put you on your fucking head, and it was a wrap. Yeah, so that's who I got. I see somebody tag the Saga. I forgot who that. I know the Saga is an avid wrestler fan. I don't even have a comp for the Saga. So the Saga, if you ever come by this and listen, you know, I'm sorry, brother. I just didn't have. I like I said, I kind of kept it short. I see you type Mr. Perfect. I gave Charlie Clips Mr. Perfect, which is kind of just funny that you said DNA Mr. Perfect. Him and Charlie Clips got similar traits because they're both so well rounded. Charlie Clips Mr. Perfect as well. So that's crazy. Who else I had? Math Hoffa, Kane. Kane is a legend. Math Hoffa is a legend in my opinion. Both done had like controversial like moments. Both done took some losses. They don't win a lot of the big matches that they're supposed to win, but their imprint and the moments that they have gave us still holds weight and can't be denied. And for most of their career, they've been a heel. There's been very few times where they're the face. They have been the face, but it's been very few and far between periods of that. So I gave Mav Hoffa Kane. And that's look like it's about it. I gave Geechee Gotti CM Punk. Because like I said, CM Punk was kind of original. He kind of brought in that kayfabe. I'm gonna pop this real shit in the ring and get in trouble for it in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wear my heart on my sleeve. And Geechee Gotti's kind of like that. Like, I'm gonna tell you some real shit that's going on with me and in my hood. Also, he's like, just like CM Punk, no matter when he was a heel or a face, people still fuck with him. I think if Geechee ever take on the role as quote unquote the bad guy, people will still fuck with him. And yeah, CM Punk got love from all the leagues, all the organizations, and everybody. And Geechee gets love everywhere he goes too. That's why he can frequent on both King of the Dot and still be on URL heavy too. Like, people don't really have a bad thing to say about him. Math equals CM Punk because he hates the establishment. That's a good point. It's a good point. You got Chess as Owen Hart. Sharon is Randy simply because he's a legend. Oh, I ain't giving him Randy. I can't give Sharon Randy. Randy, my guy. I can't give Sharon Randy. I feel way better giving that to Chilla. I can't give Sharon Randy now. Who would I give Sharon? Who would Sharon be? Let's figure it out as a family. Who would Sharon be, yo? Sharon would probably be I don't know. Who would Sharon be? I'll probably give Sharon Seth Rollins, maybe. Seth Rollins is pretty good. Like I said, he's more of the newer guys. I've watched enough of him though to know that he's good. He's won big matches. They fuck with him over there. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. I gave Geechee Stone Cold because of believability. I ain't mad at that, but that's the same reason I would probably give Surf Stone Cold too. So it's kind of one and the same there. I ain't mad at that either. But yeah, Chess Owen Hart. I think I gave Chess like X-Pac. Because X-Pac was killing shit for a minute before he joined DX. You remember when X-Pac was a 1-2-3 kid? And he was like going against like Brett, and he was going against Razor Ramon, and he was like handling his own, and he was like only 20 years old or some shit. So I gave him that because he came in the game really, really young, and back then that was like unprecedented to really be that young as a wrestler, like in the big leagues of wrestling. Like, he was really young, and Chess was really young to be in the URL. So you would get the Irish guy. Oh, you talking about what's the Irish guy's name? Sheamus? Yeah. Yeah, Sheamus. Oh, you saying that's Sharon? Yeah, he could be Sheamus. He can be Sheamus. I ain't mad at that. Yeah, but that's about it. I think I just covered everybody. I gave Rex Macho Man. That just sounds like it makes sense. That just sounds like it. That just sound. I gave Rex Macho Man. I gave him not because his name was Randy and Macho Man Randy Savage, but it's just the confidence they had in and if you look back then, Macho was like one of the smaller wrestlers. Now he's big, right? Comparing to like a normal human being, he was like 6'1", 6'2". But in wrestling size, as far as being like a heavyweight, going against like for the belt, he was considered like on one of the smaller guys. Like, you see him standing next to Hogan, there's a clear difference in height and size. But he popped shit like he was a heavyweight. Like, he was taller. That's always been Rex. Like, he never popped shit like he was the height he was. So yeah, I just gave him that based on him being a legend, based on him having a lot of moments, and yeah, just always having this self-belief even when shit wasn't going his way. So yeah, that's what I gave Rex Macho Man, and yeah, that was the last one. That was I just ran through this whole list to make sure I didn't forget anybody. Yep. Yeah, that was it. I don't think I continued this at all. So yeah. So that's it. I just looked at the list. That is it. This ran on longer than I thought. I had fun. I want to thank y'all for stopping by, tuning in. I hope people check this out when they get time, a little more free time. I know a lot of people were busy. I didn't expect to do this at all, but I woke up and seen people in my missions commenting on some shit that happened in August. I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's talk about it. Uh, if anybody want to further this conversation, we can. I'll be on Twitter at Podtier, PODTIER. Try to get something going on tomorrow, maybe with a group of people. We're gonna do some. It's time for me to get out some predictions because the week is here now. Y'all know what it's time for. It's time for Genesis and it's time for RBEs to get back. So, I want to go ahead and get those two prediction live shows out as soon as possible. Maybe start to get back tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I don't know, but we'll see. But definitely predictions coming up very, very soon, as I will be probably away for a few days before Saturday. So yeah, that's about it. Continue to support. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, man. Means a lot. Means a lot. Y'all like and subscribe to the content and share it with your friends who might not be aware of me, because I realize there is a lot of media out there. So I might not be on their radar right now, but you can change that for me. All right, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep it battle rap. Love.